Oh, yeah, it's the sweet, sweet sounds of another episode of the Social Distance Drinking Club. This time, we're in a bit of a quiet, dark place.
Spooky, even.
Spooky, indeed. Then we've got scary stories we could tell you in the dark, but we're not going to. Instead, we're going to tell you about the exciting brew day we had today in Tombstone, Arizona. The beer fight at the OK Corral was had.
Is that what we're calling it?
Grain was spent. Much grain was spent, and beer was brewed. I am so excited. We had a great time.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. A lot of heavy lifting. Weedy Wiedenthal was nice enough to let us actually not just sit around and drink beer. We actually had some fun being able to contribute to hauling some sacks of grain and whatnot. But let's be real. They know what they're doing. They didn't need our help. They were nice enough to allow us to help.
Or as I think what we did today is what Brett Berry would call CrossFit, I think.
Indeed.
I think it was CrossFit. We carried 50-pound bags and then set them down and went back to carrying more 50-pound bags.
And then as soon as we set them down, we talked about our macros.
Yes. So many macros. So many macros.
And talked about all your injuries that you've sustained in the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, we both fucked up our shoulders, so it was a proper CrossFit workout. So
let's put it this way. I mean, I know that I'm the youngest one here, but I looked like I was auditioning for an Icy Hot commercial when I was done. I reached back. I did one of these. It is it wasn't great, but it was great. It was amazing. It's so much fun.
But there's also beer, right? In my experience, brew day involves somewhat copious amounts of beer.
We called it medicine. It was medicinal libation at that point. So we took part. It was our inflammation.
Absolutely, yeah. It was vitamin A in full effect.
Yes.
On a scale of appropriate level of brew day drinking and our attempt at homebrew when Yusuf and Adam Ledford met the first time, where did you guys fall on the scale?
Nowhere close. Nowhere close.
I was going to say, don't answer that as your attorney. Do not answer that, guys. Thank you for joining us. Tell us what you're drinking in the comments. We have some shoddy Wi-Fi, but for damn good reason, because some of you who watched the show in the past saw our dear friend James Callahan, who's down here in Sonoyta. He's got Rune Wines, and we're here. We made it our way down here. Also, some of you may have noticed thing we thought wouldn't happen before 2021. Adam Ledford and I are within, I'd say, about 4 feet of each other.
I assume there's a clear barrier between you guys, though, right? Like that we just don't see on the screen.
There is. It's plexiglass.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, you know that I'm a stickler. I'm married to a pulmonologist. We talked about this at great length. We have been masks up for all of the day. It's not possible doing a show like this, and we found an amazing outdoor location. The wind is blowing. There's cross breeze. We're as safe as a comfort margin can get.
And it's not that we found. We were kindly invited by James and Co.
We did not stumble across the Rune tasting room and invade their property. We were in fact invited here.
There is a fire burning. There are coyotes howling. They howl, right? I think that's what they do. They don't fucking moo, that's for sure. So we're under. Chris McBeth says we're under a hobo's bridge. Yes, and believe it or not, Wi-Fi works under this hobo's bridge. That's it.
Quality bridge.
It explains everything.
You guys, we gotta do something now.
What's that?
We gotta do something. We gotta do that. What are we drinking? We'll start with you guys though, because I think you're drinking the same thing.
Indeed. Being here at Rune, we drank plenty of good stuff. We had the Hellas, by the way. The Hellas lager is incredible.
The Hellas is the best thing that we had today.
This for reading purposes, but this is a 2017 Pillsbury Vineyards Wild Syrah from Rune, and it is so good. We've got a fire burning, so
it is excellent. It is excellent. Yeah, we took some photos not only of the brew day, but of our amazing surroundings during the sunset that we just eclipsed right now. And it's pretty spectacular out here.
All right. Well, no one cares about that. Brett, what are you drinking?
Man, The role of Yusuf tonight is being played by Adam Green, clearly. I am, given it's brew day with our friends at Tombstone, I am doing the Tombstone These Hops Sure Can Fly. Plus, it is National IPA Day, or as I like to call it, Brett's Christmas.
It is.
Yes, indeed.
You know what? We were so busy sweating and slaving away as Weedy just sipped on beer and yelled and pointed at us that it didn't occur to me to post a happy National IPA Day. So happy National IPA Day, everybody.
It is National IPA Day. It's a good holiday, which is what it's my choice too.
Oh yeah. So I was gonna say thank you for recognizing my people, Yusuf.
Can we get that? Can we get that banner? Where's that banner?
Should I privilege check him? I'll save it for another day.
And if anyone cares, I'm drinking Tombstone Tap and Bottle Collab passenger side, also for National IPA Day, and because obviously half our show was at Tombstone today, so it just seemed appropriate.
Hey, so you guys have had passenger side and you've had these Hops Sure Can Fly. What do you think? Compare and contrast between the two. I definitely am drawn more towards these Hops Sure Can Fly.
Yeah, I mean, they're both. I'm trying to remember how it can fly. Like, it was really good, and I have another can of that too in the fridge, so I guess I could do an actual comparison. But they're both good beers.
Today's the day to do it. Apparently, I spoke some sort of magic secret language that activated Yusuf's phone. Right
that's
now.
not mine. It's yours. I don't have Siri. You see the problem with Apple?
I kind of want to do the thing where you say, "Hey Siri," and do some embarrassing search. So it shows up on Adam Green.
Do we need to like what is?
I want to point something out, and thank you guys for bearing with us for this wonderful internet. But I want to point something out. Siri likes to make it look like she's being coy when she's listening in on your conversation. So she's like, I couldn't hear that. Let me try again.
I'm sorry. What was the location of the underground bunker one more time?
Siri's a passive-aggressive bitch sometimes, man. Also, according to that banner, is Southern a town in Arizona?
Yeah, that comma wasn't supposed to be there. But hey, you know what, man? It's not my fault they make good wine down here. All right?
I mean, you did go to the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism, so
if it wasn't for physical distancing, I'd right now.
Thank you for.
I thought you and Adam both went to journalism school at Yosemite University. I'm sorry. It's been a day or two, and I still can't get over that Trump saying Yosemite.
So guys,
happy National IPA Day.
Let's talk about you guys were brewing, and I don't know how much you're allowed to share about what you guys are brewing with Weedy at Tombstone, but it is relevant to today's holiday, right?
It is indeed. So on the previous show, we did decide that it would be okay to tell everybody that it was a triple IPA, that it was Strata and Comet hops, and that the title of this amazing beer would be called "I'm Masking You Nicely."
Correct. The is a secret, but it is incredible. I mean, Salvador Dali himself would have been impressed with the artwork that we saw today.
Our age has not seen an artist of this like as far as the label art for this can.
I'd say no. Banksy actually called and was wondering if he could use it.
Yeah, I don't think it's stencilable.
No, probably not.
I feel like this beer. Do we have an idea? When the beer be ready? When will this beer be ready? Like when will we? Do we have an idea of that?
We are canning in 10 to 12 days.
Yeah, so Sunday the 16th is the tentative canning date. So it should be available very shortly thereafter. Always allow a margin of error because fermentation is a very amazing exact science, except when it isn't. So it's probably Sunday, could be Monday, but in all stores and markets pretty soon after that, I'm sure.
Jonathan Jacob Banky says, can't wait for the Tombstone collab. Hope you made plenty of fun of Weedy. We did, and you came up in conversation privately. Thanks for joining, buddy. Yeah, we're not far out. It should be a lot of fun. And the fact that we're all going to have cans with, I'm masking you nicely written on them. Should be great.
Oh,
We did.
I cannot wait for you guys to see the label art on this.
We did come up with a great one for the if we redid this next year. What did we decide? It was
I'm not going to mask you again.
Ooh.
Which is after we've established herd immunity and vaccination, we do a celebratory, maybe even a quad IPA.
I think we just shower in it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
100%.
It just comes in a 5-gallon solar shower ready to go. But I'm not going to mask you again. Could be the follow-up to this beer.
Or if we don't need masks anymore, we'll just call it, I'm masking off.
Ooh.
I'm masking for the last time.
I like
Fair.
that too.
I like that one too. This is a good one to post online to see if we get some good info from other people.
Yes.
But what is that can art going to look like? Because I know the current can art that's being bandied about is like if Banksy Jackson Pollock had a toddler and that toddler made the can.
We're trying to no physical appendages, disrespect away. Fair enough. Thank you.
I don't get it.
I don't either. But hey, Taz is watching the show. Thanks for watching, Taz. What'll that can art look like? I would say if we had to guess. Hey, James, are you around?
Yeah.
Hey, if you had to make up a can art for something called I'm not gonna mask you again, what would it look like to you? Stick figures. Weird. It's so weird.
Shocking.
It's so weird that he said that.
So on point.
Because we were just consulting with some of the finest artists out of the Los Angeles School of Arts and Crafts and basket weaving, and they said that they might have an idea.
This makes sense. Okay.
By the way, Yusuf, you were talking about the grain you were hauling around and the fact that you were in Tombstone. I was thinking that Weedy and the boys should maybe do a barrel-aged beer that's really aggressive called Grain and Caliber, playing off of like the bullets in the Old West.
Ooh.
I like it.
I think Brett has a career in naming beer.
I think that's called branding.
I tell you. Hey, Brett, you should get your MBA in marketing or something.
Should. It's worth a shot. It's worth a shot.
I'm just saying that'd be a good opportunity for you.
Yeah, I mean, concentrations are unofficial, but yes.
JJM, you're on the right track. Hush. Maggie says trying to label kind of like Evar. Yes.
Let's just
maybe.
say we're not saying yes or no, but you saw us nodding. How about that?
Here's a photo from today, by the way. I think that was the Hellas that we had in those steins.
That was the Hellas.
Incredible.
It was so good.
Delicious.
It was so good.
Side note,
Can I also say I love Weedy's shirt in that picture, by the way. That shirt is amazing. It's
really cool. It's really cool. And if you know anything about Weedy, it did have several holes in it, not in the neck or arm area.
I was about to say that there are more holes in that shirt than there are states represented on that particular buffalo. So.
Well, what's that like, though, guys? Because, we all know Tombstone's one of the premier breweries, not just in the state, but obviously we would put them up against so many just in the country. And you guys were there brewing a beer that's going to be coming out of Tombstone with the Social Distance Drinking Club beer, representing all of that.
I will tell you, I was shocked when we did a little bit of pre-correspondence with Weedy. Our collab beer, the one that we helped with, was one of 4 batches that they were doing back to back. I will tell you, I have been a part of and have known lots of breweries who have done double batches in a day. Rare, if ever, a triple, and never a quad batch. Never a 4-batch day. It's something that you expect to go see at Odell or New Belgium or Sam Adams, where they have these huge, amazing systems in place to allow that. And they set up this brew house in a beautiful way that allows it. It still means that Weedy's working a 16-hour day to day. He's not quite done after getting started at almost 4 a.m.
You quitters.
I know, yeah, and we hard bailed on that. We were like, we have to go to wine country.
We didn't hard bail. It was just that James said he needed a ton of help out here.
So much help.
He needed a ton of help.
Yes.
And we had to run down here quickly, and we had to make it down so we could do. What were we doing again? We're here. So that's what we had to do. Yep, we had to be here for that.
Yeah, I turned some peppers on a grate, so it was good that we got here when we did.
If we get sloppy, I'm trying to upload a single photo before we leave you. So I apologize.
Can we show them a few amazing Vista pics of what's happening in Sonoyta in the last hour or so?
Which brings me to what I was about to put up on the screen. We are down here in Sonoyta at the Rune Wines tasting room and staying down here for the night. It is stunning. It's beautiful. Here's a pano that'll probably not. Well, there's the nice one. It covers the screen a little bit. We don't need Brett in this, right?
Sorry, Brett. Oh man, you're the best Vigo impersonation right there.
I'm the keymaster. Are you the gatekeeper?
That's a different movie.
I know. We did this last time. Remember the last time he said Vigo? Anyways.
In that story, is Adam Green the effeminate museum worker?
Without a doubt. I mean, there was only one role left in the community theater. Let's be honest.
Well, there's an action shot of Mr. James Callahan at work with a set of tongs. That tong to tong tong tong.
What's he doing in that picture? Like, what's happening there?
He's soothsaying a bell pepper. Carefully.
It's charring some allium. You know how he do.
No, I don't.
There were onions and peppers on the grate, Adam. It was a fire cooking experience. Thanks for demystifying it for our entire fan base.
Also, for those of you who still live in the suburbs, that's a tractor, I think.
That's a real ass tractor, right?
That's a real one. Not a fake ass tractor. That's a real ass tractor.
That reminds me of growing up in Gilbert 25 years ago.
Yeah, so speaking of Sonoyta, speaking of Rune, they are right in the middle of the very beginning. They're in the middle of the beginning of their harvest season right now. So unfortunately, we can't stay up too late telling ghost stories with our spooky lights because they've been up since the crack of dawn this morning, working very hard to produce this year's crops.
But I will say this before we leave you guys here in the next few minutes, and pray to God that Adam and Brett can hold down the fort. I think we should grab one of those wild ferments or one of the other bottles of sours and show it to him at least, and then grab James to come say hi if he's not too busy trying to make a fire. I'll come say hi. Bigger.
Yeah.
When do you need me? But right now.
Right about now.
Yeah. You want to grab that bottle?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Massaging meat. Okay, I'm sorry. He's bringing his meat, guys. Stay tuned. James Callahan of Rune Wines is massaging meat, and he's going to let you watch him massage his meat. I think that's what I just said on the internet. Yes.
Well, I need to go get some popcorn then, and maybe a tissue.
I was hoping somebody would have that Michael Jackson gift. Yeah.
Sorry, Bubby.
I got my meat.
Yeah, check it out. There's his meat. Let's just full screen this bad boy.
We're marinated into this.
That's not.
Ain't it always the case?
Doesn't look good at all.
I was gonna say, ain't it always the case that a man's meat just doesn't look as good as it's gonna feel when you're?
If we showed you what he had sitting on the table over here, the caprese, it was a caprese, so you put it.
It's still there, yeah.
I'm pretty sure those tomatoes speak Italian. 100%. 100%. They speak Italian. So, guys, James is with us again, but we came down to visit him. We
Right in the middle of it.
You know, we were still making mac and cheese, and here we are. We're finally out in the fresh air. That is, what is it? 80 degrees out here right now.
Right now it's probably 70.
70 degrees.
Distance, because they have good weather right now.
Good weather, bad pixelation.
Wait. He said he wants to rub it in. What was that question again?
Have you guys had any rain yet?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah? Oh, okay. Well, I can't rub it in anymore.
Suck on that, James.
But
we have expectation.
Or the weather.
We're gonna open this bad boy. Some Foodorlicious. Is that right? There we go. Yep.
From Horton. But I'm sure it's good.
That's the fanciest looking Truly I've ever seen you pull out on the show.
Hey, can you grab me a Truly for my bag?
Oh my God.
An emergency Truly.
We're on our mobile hotspot now. I don't know if you guys knew that. So
yeah,
I'm sorry about my meat being pixelated, Chris. I gotta say, but
Did,
It's really
did
big.
Chris say your meat is pixelated?
Yeah.
James's meat is pixelated. Thanks, James.
I'm going back to the grill.
We are going to open this in a little bit. Food Delicious 730 from Horace, the Hungarian Takagi wine cast.
There is a can of Truly. Also, I just kind of slowly handed it to you coming from off the screen, and all of a sudden there's a Truly showing up.
Gentlemen, I'm on brand. Truly, be happy to be on your brand. Just send us thousands of dollars.
I'm back.
At this point, I'm doing them a favor, and they don't want to send me any money because I'm just doing it every week, anyways.
Jim Cook is rolling in his pre-planned funeral plot because he's not dead. But there he is, just eating dry activated yeast, telling everybody they're wrong.
Oh, guys, Weedy just joined. He missed all our good beer name discussion for their future beers. I just saw he joined on the viewing
Darn.
party.
Well, that's okay. We're going to send Weedy all of our market research that we had. But
Tell you that Grain and Caliber is a good one. That's a good beer name. Just saying.
I like it.
I was not mad about it.
Well, you guys are coming down for the canning, so you'll be able to have the man's ear himself.
Just calling it the canning sounds so like the canning, like it just has like an
Purge.
Yeah, kind of. We're gonna purge the beer from the tanks probably and put them into cans. I think that's how it goes.
I mean, if we had a budget, time, or skill with editing, we could do a Shining movie preview of the canning, like Shining style, like recreate some scenes from that. But
Well,
instead, we'll just drink some beer.
since you named both of your cats essentially Wren House names, should I name my next cat like Wyatt Earp or Doc Holliday?
Yes. You have 2 cats to get now.
Damn it. Damn it. I'm going to have to get more cats.
Wyatt and Doc are great cat
They're actually
names.
pretty good cat
Holy
names.
shit.
You imagine, well, I don't like Wyatt because it's too human, but like Doc, I'm okay with yelling Doc at my cat.
Yeah. Why it's also a little too my nephew's name for me to be fully behind it.
Yeah,
Fair.
yeah.
Fair. Because if I yell, fuck you, Wyatt, like that's going to make you uncomfortable.
I mean, sometimes he's a shit.
All right, this sounds like a threat that Weedy will put you to work on canning day. So I might be busy that day.
Oh, he's going to put us to work.
Trust me, as many cans don't quite seem and just need to be drunk or wasted, consumed or wasted. Let's get our tenses right.
Indeed.
You should go.
Hey,
So
while
somebody got wasted is what it sounds like.
while everybody's here, by the way, take a look at the link at the bottom, socialdistancedrinking.club.com. You can buy some merch. We were wearing it all day. It's just that being hard at work inside of a brewery, it was sweaty. We had to change. We got to take a shower out here. It's very nice.
Was this your first brew day, like at a brewery? I'm sure Ledford's done them before. Was this not your first one?
No, not mine. I was around for a couple. At Wilderness twice for sure, at least. One of the O-line triples back in the day when Earl was out there. So
I did have intense nostalgia today. There are a lot of things that I miss about the brewing industry and being a part of it. There are a lot of things that I don't care if I ever have to do again. But brew day is pretty special. Like the smell of wort, like the smell of the hop additions. There are so many sensory memories attached to that process and that procedure. Like I will always have a romanticized view of it, even though it's hard work.
I will say this. I never thought that I would find the day where Adam Ledford told me how to carry a bag of grain. But I did it wrong, and I easily Weedy, if you're watching, you might not have seen it because you were around the corner. I probably spilled at least one, like 20% of a bag of grain was all over the floor. I'm sorry.
How did you carry it wrong to where you
know
spilled?
Let's make him carry a bag of grain and not tell him what to do because I didn't realize we were supposed to. And then So don't worry about it.
I told
Don't
him.
tell him. Don't tell him.
Let me just say, I told him what to do on the second bag because I thought he watched me on the first.
There's a
and
very small
he
detail.
did not.
Tiny
He
detail.
did not.
Very small detail required.
Grain is heavy.
No.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Guys, I want to throw a couple things.
Yusuf's not used to manual labor that often, so.
That's true.
I want to throw a couple things at you before we leave you because it smells like things are cooking and we can't our hosts are wonderful people, and I don't want to leave them hanging. But we do have some great news. Obviously, beer coming up. Stay tuned. I'm masking you nicely a delicious triple IPA that should be around 10%, I believe, is what we're shooting for. Will be incredible. Hey, Edie, spills. That's what assistants are for. That's true. Let's not say that out loud. I like Sarah. She was very nice. Very, very nice. The other piece of news is that some of you guys may have heard the other day, we will have Mr. Zane Lamprey himself joining us a week from today. Hanging out. Zane Lamprey, for those of you who don't know, hosted a show called Three Sheets, also Chug, Drinking Made Easy. And it's going to be a blast. And now he's had a brand for a little bit called the Adventure Jacket, or Adventure, the brand, and they've got an Adventure Jacket, an Adventure hoodie.
Backpacks, a lot of stuff. It's
outdoorsy drinkers to go gear, and it's awesome.
Basically, like when we start talking about that, we'll just edit Yusuf and Adam Green off, and Brett and I can talk to him in a very genuine and
I will
not completely full of shit way.
There is a button on this screen that says ban from studio, and it asks me, "Are you sure this person will never be able to join again?" I will hit that button.
Okay, fine. Brett and I will go off screen and leave you guys flailing. We're like, outdoors, is that where the trees are?
I'm looking forward to Yusuf being like, so like, what's your preferred kind of knot to tie while camping? I prefer a square knot.
So do you four-in hand your tie down for your rain fly on your tent? Or
Did I walk back to most of them not on the show anymore? Because
now we're just mocking the ability to speak intelligently about camping and being in the outdoors in general for half of our hosts. With our guest in a week who
you guys know my feelings on camping already.
I've gone camping. I was in the Alaskan wilderness for like 5 nights.
Fuck me. Did he just brag?
5 nights? Hard
flight?
flights?
Hard flight. Alaskan wilderness. You know how far that is, buddy?
Alaska.
That's a long flight, buddy. I mean, you made it all the way out to Alaska? Yee.
So is that the title on Pornhub? Because One Night in Paris was the only one I was familiar with.
Just saying, like, I've gone camping before. That's all. Like,
I did not know if you had ever camped, Adam Green. It's never come up.
It really has. We should talk more about things that we do outside of this show.
I'm just
We
terribly
should talk more. About
I'm just
things
terribly
we do.
uncomfortable with saying the word camp around Adam Green.
That's a fair point.
I see what you did there, and that's kind of messed up.
Kind of hilarious, though.
I'm gonna go.
From one side to another, solid joke. Sorry.
Like, we could go camping in Yosemite.
Yo, Semi.
No Semite.
Oh, Lord.
So this was fun.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Here, number 2, just so you guys know.
Oh, Equilibrium.
How is it?
Nice.
Good.
Hey, James, how's that massaged meat?
Almost done.
Oh, did you give it a good massage?
It's rubbed in really nice.
Is she feeling loose?
Very happy.
I refer to my meat in. That's the gender I gave my meat. Well,
I believe that's what we call a Freudian slip, Yusuf.
it was a Ziploc bag, man. What do you want me to tell you? He said it was a skirt steak, I think.
You shouldn't call her a Ziploc bag either.
I coyote howled moments after I finished that statement.
All right. What else we got going on next week? We got the Sunday day drink.
Yes.
We have our fun new friends, courtesy of Mr. Brett Berry, Barbarian Brewing Company out of Boise, Idaho. On Tuesday's show, we're going to do a live tasting with the. Oh, tell me the name of the beer again.
The Maple Morgan, I think. The barrel maple stout.
It sounds so good.
To be fair, Brett brought this back home a couple of weeks ago for all of us. Very generous guy, and we haven't opened it because we knew that there was a possibility that Barbarian would want to get online with us and do a tasting. And so
you mean we knew they would?
We knew they would. It has been eyeing me in the fridge every day. I open the door and I'm like, oh, I see you, Maple Morgan. Not today. Not today.
See, I can't see it because it's in my stout fridge, which is overstuffed, so I can't see anything. And in my regular fridge, I can't see anything beyond the first row because it's full of Treehouse and Drecker.
Now who's flexing?
Which
Oh, that
speaking
was
of
100% flexing.
Yeah.
That's a hard
speaking
flex.
of Drecker and Horace, and I believe I've got some modem tones, and you've got that Foodalicious, and oh wait, there's a bunch of really delicious wine here at the right. Hey guys, we're 30 minutes in. Adam and I have to run. Can you guys hold down the fort for the rest of the show? But join us on Sunday for the Sunday Day Drink, Tuesday with Barbarian for a live tasting, and August 13th at 7:30 p.m. You can hang out with us and Mr. Zane Lamprey himself. I'm gonna go eat and drink. What do you think?
I'm going to tell more spooky stories.
You
But
guys. I mean,
Yeah, salute. I'm gonna finish hydrating with my Truly.
Hey, Mr. Ledford, don't let Yusuf get eaten by a coyote.
It won't. I don't think James will let that happen. I'm sure he has some sort
because
of flair.
Ledford would.
I won't, but if one offers to take him across the border, I might look the other way.
Different coyote, man. Different coyote. Coyote. Why would they take me the other way? They'd have to pay me.
Ooh, reverse coyote. That's a beer name.
At least I'm carrying my
It's
passport.
the name of something.
A hashtag privilege check? Me?
Yikes.
Guys, we love you bunches. Can't wait to see you again.
I'm going to let this one go because Beer Bob hasn't commented yet today.
Oh, Beer Bob.
Is Yusuf and Adam L? Check your grammar, bro. Getting ready for social distancing drinking club after dark. Yes, it's starting right. Meow. Adios, amigos.
See you guys. Wow. So is this when we open up our best beers now, Brett?
I mean, we probably could. Should I go pull out the midnight stills and just like pour them into my mouth?
Like if you can hold down the fort, or one of us should just drive to the other person's house and just start opening up all our best beers. Like, nah. But okay, let's get. I'm curious. National IPA Day. It's one of those like made up holidays that people do because every day's a holiday for something. But you were saying it's like your Christmas, which also like your Christmas is probably Christmas. But
it's all okay. It's like my Festivus. I would like to start with the airing of grievances, and you're mocking my IPA religion, Mr. Green.
I am. I'm a beer atheist. Or beer Gnostic. I don't know. But this is a holiday I didn't used to like IPAs, and now I'm just like, give me all the IPAs, especially on IPA Day.
I'd like to think I had a little bit to do with that as being your IPA Sherpa over the years, developing our friendship. But also, I think it happens to have coincided for you personally that I don't think it's just that my taste changed. I think IPAs at microbreweries definitely have gotten better the last few years as the hazy trend has happened and people have put a little more effort into it, which is obviously I enjoy myself a nice hazy. So.
Well, and then I guess that's the thing, like IPAs, and I'm not proud of myself. I like hazies. You know, I'll be a haze boy, and a lot of people don't think of them as like IPAs, right? You know, it's supposed to be like hoppy and bitter and just kind of punch you in the mouth. And I remember I read an article, this must have been like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, before I got into IPAs, and it was basically saying how, like the science behind how you start to like IPAs is that they're bitter, and the human psychology or whatever is bitter is poison. Don't consume that, you'll die. But if you drink enough of the IPAs, you condition your brain to say, this won't kill me. Conversely, it makes me happy. And I'm like, that's stupid. It's either good or it's not. You either like it or you don't. But eventually I started finding more and more IPAs that I liked. And yes, I like the hazies. You know, I like double dry hop, you know, triple IPAs, the boozier ones and stuff. But I could drink the hot bombs too and be very satisfied. So yeah, like as our friendship, you know, grew, my palate for IPAs changed, and here we are.
And what a wonderful place we're at now. I think for me, part of the reason I, as a native Arizona kid, I think sometimes I like IPAs largely because they are full of flavor, but not as heavy as other kinds of beers or other types of drinks, where it kind of has that, you know, that full mouth flavor without needing to be something that serves best at 60 degrees or something like that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
BD just flexing on us, saying how he makes all these fantastic IPAs by just, throw some hops in there, poke it with a broomstick, and see what happens.
Oh, well, like their cans, like I like that they're so descriptive. It just tells you what hops are in there. I'm like, cool, thanks, Tombstone. I know what I'm drinking. And like, why? I don't know.
Chris Burns
Saul quoting Hamilton, basically. Cool.
No. What's up, Saul?
But yeah, I don't know. National IPA Day, as Mark mentioned, it's like a Hallmark beer holiday, which I don't think any of us need a reason to drink beer or a holiday to drink beer, but it's nice to feel like I didn't want to drink this IPA, but I was obligated to do so because it's a holiday.
Well, to be fair, I feel like National IPA Day is at least as credible of a holiday as an excuse for drinking as Cinco de Mayo for most Americans. So, it's most holidays are just an excuse to drink anyway.
Yeah, that's true. But you're still on these hops sure can fly, right?
Yeah, I'm on my carb cycling diet. Me and Ellie started this week, so I'm burning all my carbs in one beer, and it is delightful.
Did you have that one with us a couple of weeks ago during the ground control anniversary week when we were opening that one? How different is it? Because it was really like punchy, fresh. How is it a couple weeks later?
It settled down a little bit. I think slightly better, not super different. It's just a little settled down, I would say. Before we went on air, Mr. Ledford, beer nerd scientist that he is, was saying this is probably about the right time. And it was very good before, and it's very good now. So cheers to that.
And that's the strange thing, right? Like we've talked about on the show, like when do you age beers? How do you just like you have to try one fresh and try one a few weeks old, and you can taste that difference. And it's all a matter of perspective. Someone might like it better fresh, someone might like it better a few weeks in, but it's still good, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, and we do have a question in the chat here from our super fan Chris Macbeth. His wife Amy wondered if there's an IPA you could recommend that might be mild for an IPA virgin.
Well, do you want to take a first crack at this as the guy that's more recent to IPAs, and what kind of introduced you, and then I can maybe give my answer?
Like these days, I would think anything hazy because they're not going to be bitter. They're going to be more juice-like. And trying to think of something, Wren House obviously always has some that are like that, but anything that's like calls itself a hazy IPA, I think would be a good start. I remember I was in Chicago. It was I guess 3 years ago, about for a wedding, and my mom does not drink alcohol like at all. But we were with some cousins and stuff. We were walking around, and we stopped in a brewery. And I'm like, I'm going to find you a beer that you'll drink. And you're like, okay, it's pretty good. It was like an orange hazy IPA. And she's like, she liked it. Not that she's become an alcoholic since then, hardly. But I think maybe the last bit of alcohol she drank 3 years ago. But like she did enjoy that. So that's what I was saying. And it calls itself a hazy, and especially it's more like a citrusy one. I think for an IPA virgin that's as mild as it gets, it's going to be tasty.
Yeah, I think for one that's going to be readily available locally, I think what kind of fits that description is Hop Chowder. Is a solid
Water. Yeah.
Goldwater. If you're not going, I think to a lesser extent, the Juicy Jack I think is actually not bad as an intro kind of that.
Santan, right?
What's that?
That's Santan.
Yeah, and so those ones that are like the bigger microbrews, I think generally tend to be an easier entree into the palate than some of the more aggressively hopped things. So also the shop, other than Fightem, makes it really delightful, easy to drink. Yeah, Fightem is an acronym that you can look up and read the unofficial and official names. Basically, it is something that they are aggressively doing to your mouth with the hops.
Spellbinder from Wren House isn't bad. Like that's not super punchy.
Yeah.
It's only 6.5%. So I think the way I got into IPAs largely was, I mean, partly hanging out with people like Brett who would get them, and I'd get to try a little bit, and then just going to beer festivals where it's like, okay, it doesn't cost me anything, because the hard thing that I have is like, I'm not going to go to a bar or a brewery and order the IPA and spend like $6 on that. I'm like, I may not even like this. But when you can have a small sample, you're like, all right, that's not bad. I can try it. And then when you find out you like that, like the next thing that is similar, you could try that. So it's really about just trying them, you know? And there you go, from Bell's, right? Hot Slam is a gateway IPA. It is trash if not fresh. So make sure you get it fresh. Otherwise, you will be turned off of IPAs forever.
Yeah, Hop Slam can be not great at times.
But that's the danger with IPAs. Like, they don't necessarily age. Like, we just talked about years that these hops sure can fly, age nicely. Not all IPAs like go down that road.
Yeah, I mean the other thing, if you're really nervous about going full IPA, you can also maybe do your training wheels on like some of the more IPA-like pale ales from our friends at Pueblo Vita that make outstanding pale ales that are lighter and less aggressive, but still have a lot of those kind of flavors. And it's Spellbinder, Chris, not Bellbinder.
Yeah, he's close though. The S and the B are on the same keyboard, so that's understandable.
He was also shouting at us.
I will say, like, one of the beers that I remember, geez, again, this must have been like 6 years ago now. I wasn't into IPAs, but our friend Earl, who was on this show on Sunday, you know, I was talking to him at a Cardinals practice actually after a press. I'm like, hey, like, I need an IPA to kind of be a gateway one too, because like all my friends are drinking IPAs. I haven't found one that I like. He suggested Dogfish, that Burton Baton, which is an English old style. I Googled it to make sure I had this right. It's an English style old ale and imperial IPA like combination. He's like, that was a decent gateway IPA. And I remember drinking, like, okay, that's not bad. Because it wasn't hoppy so much. It wasn't like punchy in the mouth. I was just like, okay, this is nice.
See, my favorite thing, that the first IPA probably that Adam Green loved and would be the worst path for Amy, is 120-minute IPA from Dogfish Head, which is
that way. That's a barley wine anyway. You know,
yeah.
That's not.
Which is why that's your gateway to IPAs. It's basically barley wine.
Yeah, I don't care what they call it. It's not an IPA, but so nowadays there's everything hazy, I think, and like an IPA doesn't have to be a hoppy, like it doesn't have to be super hop forward and bitter and make you go, oh god, that's disgusting, but give me more. You know, it doesn't have to be like that anymore.
Yeah. I would also generally just trust a handful of breweries that do IPAs real well. Like Virgin is all over the place, Pure Project,
Pueblo Vita.
Pueblo Vita, LCB out of California, local craft. Is it local craft beer or local craft brewery? I forget what the B stands for, but they make really solid IPAs. Virgin, I think, is underappreciated because they don't have a miss. They just they're very easy to drink.
Yeah. And there's going to be IPAs. Like, I think the hazy thing lately has been kind of, there are some beer people are like just a haze craze. They don't like doing them because it's like, it feels cheap. You know, it's like more juice than it is IPA, but it's still technically an IPA. And if you like it, you like it. Who cares?
Oh, I mean, let's be real. Most beer nerds and the beer snobs, of which we are, them, basically liked IPA's first album. And we'll talk about that, right?
IPA hipsters.
Yeah. They liked IPAs before they were cool, when they were just incredibly bitter and punched in the face.
When I didn't want them. Like, what's your favorite IPA, Brett? Like, if you had to pick one right now, like, what's your go-to IPA?
Readily available or in general?
Let's say local IPA and then just IPA you've had. So maybe could that be both? One of each?
So if I'm just going to have one that is consistently available locally, I mean, Spellbinder is a solid one that Wrenhouse puts out all the time now, and I'm never going to be mad at Spellbinder.
Fact.
I do love, Hop Chowder is kind of a similar thing. Like, it's always around, and you know what? It's solid, right? I think some of the best IPAs I've had are probably some of the rarer ones. The first beer I ever truly loved at Pure Project, Keep a Merkin Dank. That especially when was it you that brought back the DDH version?
Yeah.
Oh God, that was so good. And I've had some hell of good ones from the Northeast breweries that you would kind of expect it to be coming from, like Treehouse. There was one I had. I'm forgetting it's a brewery in Brooklyn, and I'm blanking on the name. But I remember I went out to a fancy work dinner, and the guys that I was with were getting like a $50 bottle of wine, which I'm like, you realize that's like a $10 bottle of total wine. What's that?
Was it Other Half, or was it?
No, it was. Oh gosh, it's gonna come to me probably after the show's over. Yeah, they thought they were like, oh, let's get a $50-$60 bottle of wine and split it. I'm like, you realize all of these wines you can get anywhere, and this IPA that was freaking fantastic was like, I'm never gonna get that in Arizona, right? And they mocked me for my choice, but I felt very, very comfortable with my decision.
And I think, I don't know, like there's a lot of beer people get excited for stouts. It's hard to get excited for IPAs, and yet you drink like that was really good. So it's such a weird deck of the range, right? Like IPAs, we were talking like haze, hot bombs, everything in between. Okay, Beer Bob, Tower Station, yeah,
that's a great beer.
That's an objectively good, available IPA local. That's good call, Beer Bob. But I don't know.
Also, all of the Tombstone IPAs are, if you ever see one, you should just get one. I'll just say that.
Well, the good thing is they'll tell you on the can pretty much every time exactly what it's going to be and taste like. They don't have crazy beer names for the most part. Like these Hop Sure Can Fly is about as out there as Tombstone seems to get.
I'm surprised Weedy and the guys haven't just said pretty solid IPA.
Like it's fine IPA. It's drinkable.
It'll get you drunk IPA.
Oh man!
Did I have a green freeze?
No. Maybe. Move. Nope. Back. There you go. Like I can't tell.
Was that you or was that me?
Oh, it's definitely you. Well, that story took a turn.
Chris, are you choosing the term crappy IPA deliberately as a pun? Because if so, kudos.
Oh man.
Oh.
What's
that?
We gotta do a canning in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it sounds like Yusuf is trying to just get out of manual labor because Yusuf.
Yeah, I mean, he apparently spilt a lot of grain and stuff today, so maybe it's Weedy who's kind of like nudge, like, you know what, you don't need to be here for canning. It's going to be too tough. And then we're going to go down there probably like when Tombstone's doing like a big stout release too, hopefully, and be like, yes, it'll be the best day ever.
I just, in my head, I imagine this all went like Yusuf, like, oh, you know, Adam Ledford, I just don't do it as good as you. Maybe you should move all the grain bags. Spill it all over the place. But that's our friend, and we love him.
That's how it goes. Well,
he's probably watching and yelling at the screen right now. If I open my window, I can probably hear him from 200 miles away.
I think he's over this show. I think he only jumped on because he had to, and then he just wanted to go have James's meat and enjoy that. That's the impression I got from the show. Could be wrong.
Yeah. I mean, who am I to stand in the way of Yusuf and James's meat?
Just let you take a sip there and enjoy that one. Well, everyone, thank you for tuning in and watching tonight. You know, like I say, it was Beer Collab Day. Yusuf and Ledford were down there at Tombstone brewing a beer that should be canned roughly around the 16th. So about 10 days or so, which means shortly after that, it'll be available to purchase and enjoy. You know what's funny is if we don't like that beer, it's totally their fault.
I mean, yeah, but the odds of that is going to be very, very, very low.
Very, very low because it's a Tombstone beer, and I'm sure Weedy could make up for any failures that. Well, Ledford knows how to brew a beer, so I'm not anything that Yusuf brought to ruin that beer. I'm sure Weedy could compensate for and still make it really damn good.
Do you think that that they did like what the Beach Boys manager did with one of the Wilson brothers' dads and like gave him like fake knobs to turn, like he was actually producing the music that wasn't plugged into anything when it came to brewing the beer? And I need you to do this test over here. It's very important.
Well, did Yusuf have like some wings like pinned onto his shirt or something? It's like a keg or something. He's like, I brewed the beer, guys.
Oh goodness! I mean, I'd like to say that that's a 0% chance of happening, but I can't say that statement with a straight face.
We don't know for sure.
No,
we can only assume.
Yeah. Well, Adam, I'm super excited for the shows next week because we got some pretty sweet guests lined up, both from the beer community and Zane Lamprey. It's gonna be a good one.
Well, that's what we're doing. And like everyone's been watching, we appreciate all our loyal viewers and everything. Like we definitely do this and enjoy having y'all tuning in, but we're certainly trying to get more guests in terms of either national appeal, people like Zane Lamprey, who we all know, or like Barbarian Brewing, who is a place that you stop by and just like randomly we're able to check out. And it's like, this was good. We've had some good beers from them, so it's cool to have them on and promote them. Obviously, they're not Arizona, but we would like to think there's people not from Arizona watching this show, people who might drive through there and be like, okay, now I know Barbarian. Because you went there because you put something on Facebook of where should you go for beer in that area, and people like Barbarian, right? Like that's how you found them.
Yep. The Arizona Beer Enthusiast Group, and then that seemed to be the recurring theme. Did quick research while in the midst of, 10 hours of driving that day, saying, hey, can we stop here? Luckily, we arrived just about the time they opened. And it was incredibly nice to, knowing we were on a rush to get to our campground and get set up before dark, they moved our cannings to the front of the line so we didn't have to wait too long. And good for them. I spent a fairly large amount of money to bring stuff back for all of you guys. But yeah, it's a cool space, and they were super nice people, and I'm excited to have them on.
And that's one of the things that we've also wanted to do with this show. Like, obviously, we want to be able to just hang out with each other, our friends, and with all you guys enjoying this with us and try some beers. But when we can promote breweries that, like, I'd never had Barbarian before. I'd never heard of them before, right? But Brett got to go there and bring some beers back for us. And we got to try like, these are pretty good. And I know the one we're going to open up next week, the Maple one, sounds just amazing. So I know we're all looking forward to that we're going to do our tasting of. But that's a cool thing about this show that we can do. And like, maybe not promote, but certainly highlight breweries that are doing good work that maybe everyone hasn't heard of. Like, people have heard of Stone, and locally, obviously, we like to promote the ones we've had on and a lot of the other ones, but it's cool to learn about other places. There's so much good beer out there. And I know when I travel, I try to find breweries and stuff that I can't get here in Phoenix back home. One, just to drink, and two, to bring back to share with all you guys. But it's cool to learn more about them. I'm looking forward to that one on Tuesday with Barbarian. That's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm super excited for it. I'm super excited to try the beer. I mean, barrel-aged maple stout. It sounds like something this group would appreciate. So
I'm not going to say we didn't.
I mean, when you say black bag, do you mean just keep handing Yusuf drinks until he passes out, PJ? Because Yusuf's going to do that to himself.
Well, Yusuf had turned to Truly, so he's about 15 Trulies away from being buzzed. So
yeah, but he's just using that. He's just chugging that Truly, chasing that sponsorship dragon.
Everyone, we appreciate you all joining us for our show that. What do we call it? The Shoot Out the Tombstone something? What did Yusuf name it? I don't even remember.
I don't know. It was Brew Day on IPA Day.
Brew Day at the OK Corral is what he called it. But it was also National IPA Day. So we appreciate y'all joining us. It's a good day for Thursday. Actually, we'll be next Sunday for the Sunday Day Drink. And then as Brett was talking about, next week we have some guests coming in that you're definitely not going to want to miss those shows. Tuesday and Thursday. But we'd be happy to have you all again Sunday afternoon. We do that at 1:30 Arizona time. The Sunday Day Drink will be back, and I assume Yusuf and Ledford will be in places where there's sunlight and a stable internet connection.
I don't know. I mean, maybe they just took Yusuf out into the country to say, "Go on, boy, you're free now."
Yusuf went to go live on a farm.
He's just flying people down and be like, "They're like, sir, do you need water?" No, I need a bidet.
Well, everyone, thank you for joining us for our Thursday show. National IPA Day, Brew Day at the OK Corral. Brett's out of beer, so we're not going to.
Got a few drops left.
Brett's out of beer. So we'll see you all Sunday for the Sunday Day Drink. Until then, I guess, enjoy yourselves. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Yeah, cheers. Yusuf flexing in that photo.